that every action that we do, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, it will be based according to our intention. The question and the reason that we have gathered here today is to clarify an important point. That we have chosen, and many of us probably are born here, and many have preferred to live in a place in the West. And then we claim and we believe that Allah Ta'ala has created the sun, created the moon, Allah Ta'ala has created this dunya, the waxing and waning, Allah Ta'ala has created the environment. We see the greatness of the Creator. So the question we need to ask ourselves, is it not that man, when he is living here, he is to take care of himself, take care of the environment, just like how it has been mentioned about the role of the prophets. لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانَ لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. Every Muslim, every person who has the shahada and the testimony in his heart, he undoubtedly believes that all of the messengers, they came with that message, لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. They had the kitab, they had the bayinat, so that man can stand forth in justice. So we all are here to fight against the atrocities and the injustices that is happening in the world. Really, we need to read this article, Voting in Islam, Guidance to Muslims in Britain from Scholars of Islam. We are speaking about people whom have reached that level of able to come to decisions based on Quran and Sunnah. Many a times we say that where in the Quran it says about voting, and we are forgetting that the Sharia itself is about preservation of our deen, our akal, our mind, our living, taking care of our basic needs in the life that we are living in. That is what it is, safeguarding and protecting our life. So when we have scholars who are competent, who are honest, who have integrity, and they have given the ruling, not the Tom, Dick and Harry, but scholars, when they are giving a ruling, and yet we have the audacity to question that who are you to say that this is halal and this is haram. So there may be a difference of opinion. We need to respect the opinion of those scholars of competence. It becomes the responsibility of every person to safeguard and protect the iman, and that is where the promise of Allah lies. Now we are speaking about the legislation, and we are speaking about the promise of Allah. No doubt, that is the reason why we are encouraging a people to participate in this country, in the voting, in the electoral process, so that to make sure that when laws are going to be passed in the parliament, you are speaking about the House of Commons, you are speaking about the House of Lords. Who approves? Who makes the laws? And that is what we want to challenge. When legislations are being introduced and being passed in parliament, it's going to affect every Muslim living in this country. And we want to safeguard to our iman. We are worried that they not become, that they don't deviate from the sirat al-mustaqim. We are worried that with the increase of the protection that has been given to homosexuality, we are worried about the alcohol, the gambling, the drugging. And these laws are passing those laws so that our children growing up in such an environment, if we are not going to that is, vote for people who at least have certain concern, who are worried. Now you are telling me, we are fools, do we not know that laws are going to be implemented? There is a widespread support for a ban on burqas, or full face veil, and niqabs, which cover the head and the face but leave the eyes visible in Netherlands. What about in Switzerland? Banning of the minaras. Where are all these laws being passed? And that is the reason why it becomes a duty to ensure for our maslaha, for our benefit, to elect people who know what is Islamophobia, who know what is the Muslim identity. Unfortunately, the condition of the Muslim has become such that there are people, because of not voting, people get elected, and sometimes a person who is elected, he may be a very moderate Muslim, he may be from a foundation probably more affiliated to Qadam Foundation, who want to create the impression that these are the moderate Muslims. And that is why we have to stand up to the challenge. We have to ensure and give direction to the youth, that by you not participating, it may be in your constituent affect the outcome of that election. Somebody gives you alcohol and says this is Zamzam, will you drink it? Somebody gives you pork. Halal and haram issues being discussed in parliament. Stunning and unstunning, concerning the affairs of everyday our living. So we want to live in a place when the laws that have been passed in the parliament does not affect us. It may be easier for us to safeguard our iman, protect our children, to complete that issue. That one of the candidates is a Qadiani, Nasr, but people will go there, they may think that he is a Muslim, and do you know who are the damages are? We know what is the hidden agenda of a people, and that is the reason why it becomes important to know, not just to vote blindly. It's something called tactical voting. It does not also mean that you, when you are quoting the verse of the Holy Quran, in al-hukmu illa lillah, who can challenge the divine laws of Allah? The divine laws of Allah has no flaws. Everyone understands man-made laws passed by man is always going to change. There's not a flaws in it. We need a voice to represent us. Somebody who can at least speak on behalf of the Muslim, somebody who can represent you. Because when you are making your noise down on the street, and you are having your lobbying and your protesting down there in the street, but no one to represent you and give your views and arrange a meeting so that when these legislations are being implemented, it does not affect the life of the Muslim. Can you imagine how it will affect that woman and that mother and our sister when a time comes? She is not allowed to go out on the street, she is not allowed to drive except that she will have to expose herself. Umar ibn Khattab, radiallahu anhu, he is entering Jerusalem. He is not entering there, he is entering as an ordinary person. He is Amir al-Mu'mineen. He is the Khalif. He is the one who is the Amir of all of the Muslimin. And this is his statement. Inna kunna qawman adillah. We were a people who are humiliated. Look at our condition pre-Islamic Arabia. Allah Ta'ala gave us izzah and honor with Islam. إِذَا ابْتَغَيْنَا الْعِزَّةَ بِغَيْرِ مَا أَعَزَّنَا اللَّهُ أَذَلَّنَا اللَّهُ. The moment we seek for izzah and honor in any other way, Allah Ta'ala will humiliate us. So we have to remember that when you are saying وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Are you saying that the Muslim is the one who is giving the hukam? Or are you saying that these people, even though you do not participate, there is going to be an outcome, there are going to be people in the House of Commons, there are going to be laws being passed, and no doubt about it, these laws will be passed and they are not on the hukam of Allah. And that is the reason, in fact, we have to reinforce why we need actually Muslim candidates who have integrity, who are honest, and who are able to uphold the justice. When we speak about issues in Palestine, they are there to oppose and challenge and champion the cause of Palestine. When we are speaking about the atrocities that happened there in Gaza, we have a candidate who is Muslim, who is upright, who is justice, who has the shahada in his heart, who has fear of Allah. He will champion the cause of the Muslims. So therefore it can be also that there are certain constituents, certain areas where a non-Muslim is far more better in honesty, in integrity than the Muslim. So when you speak about the hukum of Allah, and when you speak about man-made legislation, which you have no choice in this matter, you are living here, and whatever laws is going to be passed, whether it is the hospitals, whether they are with regard to separating the male and the female gender, whether it's going to be laws with regards to the schooling, any law that is going to pass is going to affect our life. So therefore remember, if we have in our mind that man-made laws are better than the divine laws of Allah, based on the intention, then you can apply the verse. But to just give a blanket and use that verse for every person who is participating in voting, creating the impression that he is following man-made laws, that I think is really causing and may cause greater harm in a sense, because here you are creating the impression and giving a person, making him feel guilty because of his participation, when already the scholars have said, the scholars have discussed, and the scholars have given us a verdict. So we are speaking about al-aslu fil ashya' al-ibaha. You are making it a matter of aqidah. It's not a matter of aqidah. It is a matter of maslaha, the benefit of the people, to ensure that there is some good that they come. And that is what the Sharia is about, to ensure that you try to remove and eradicate the harm that may come upon them. We have in the Sharia the Quran, Sunnah, and also we have Qiyas, and we have Ijma' and we have Ijtihad. So the Sharia is not only that we say that whatever is in the Quran and Sunnah and we stop there. We have the primary source of Islamic law, and we have the secondary sources of Islamic law. Primary source, Quran and Sunnah, and the secondary sources is the Qiyas, the analogy, is the Ijtihad, the personal reasoning, is the Ijma' and the consensus.